Ready to dive into something a little different? We're going to tackle toenail fungus.
Toenail
Yeah,
fungus.
toenail fungus. But hold on.
Okay.
Before you think, oof, foot care, boring, it's actually not.
Right.
It's anything but. We're going to be looking at some really cutting-edge research on how AI is being used to track and diagnose on onychomycosis.
Onychomycosis.
Yeah, that's the official
the
term
technical term, yeah.
for this surprisingly common condition.
It is. I think what's so interesting is that you think of AI solving these complex problems, but here it is tackling something like toenail fungus.
Yeah,
It really shows how versatile it is and its potential to change all kinds of things in healthcare.
I know, right? It's not the first thing you think of, AI, toenail fungus.
Not really, no.
But we've got some really cool research to dig into here.
Yeah.
We're looking at excerpts from a 2024 clinical practice article from, get this, the Journal of the European Academy of Dermatology and Venereology.
Wow.
It's a mouthful. But it's got all the details on this new AI system that could really change the game for both patients and doctors.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I thought was so fascinating is that it goes beyond just detecting the presence of the fungus.
Okay.
It can actually measure, using AI, the extent of the infection
Really?
and track changes over time. It's really precise, like we've never seen before.
So before we get into the AI, can you give us a sense of how widespread this problem is? I have to admit, I don't know a lot about it.
Well, it affects about 23% of Europeans.
23%.
Yeah, so almost 1 in 4.
Wow.
And it's not just a cosmetic concern, it can really impact your quality of life.
Yeah, that's a huge number of people. Do you think this AI could help with early detection too?
Possibly, yeah.
Right.
Early detection is key with any condition.
Right.
Onychomycosis is no different. Diagnosis has always relied on doctors visually assessing. Experienced clinicians are good, but it can be a little subjective.
So
This is where AI comes in, bringing more objectivity to the analysis.
how does it work? Is it like, I don't know, X-ray vision for toenails or something?
Not quite X-ray vision,
Okay.
but it is pretty cool. The study talks about this system called Scarletred Vision.
Scarletred Vision.
Yeah, it's a smartphone app
Okay.
paired with a color-calibrated skin patch.
Ah, so using technology that most people already have.
Exactly.
That's pretty clever.
Yeah. Your phone, you use it for selfies, can now be a medical tool.
High tech.
High tech. So patients put the patch next to the toenail and take a picture with the app. And the color calibration from the patch is essential.
Okay.
Make sure the lighting and color are standardized.
Right. So the AI has an accurate image to work with.
Exactly, yeah. For accurate analysis.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Consistent lighting is important for any kind of photography, so I can see how it'd be critical for medical imaging too.
Yeah.
So the AI has this picture. Then what? How does it actually analyze it?
Well, it doesn't just look for the fungus, yes or no. It actually measures how bad the infection is. Using something called superpixels.
Superpixels.
That's like the AI is an artist breaking down the image of your toenail into these little puzzle pieces.
Oh, interesting.
And each piece, each superpixel, tells you all this detailed information about the color and texture.
Okay.
Which helps the AI pinpoint exactly where the fungus is.
So it's like it's creating this really detailed map of the toenail highlighting the areas affected by the fungus.
Exactly. Yeah. It's this level of detail that lets doctors accurately assess the severity of the infection and see how it changes over time with treatment.
So it's not just a snapshot in time.
Right. You see the progression.
Yeah, you get to see how things are changing.
Exactly. And there's another really interesting thing from the study. The AI can measure nail growth.
Wait, really? How? Just from a photo. It's not like it's got a tiny ruler it's using on the screen.
Right. It's pretty clever. As part of the research, the doctors put a tiny notch at the base of the toenail, like a marker. And by comparing the position of that notch in photos over time, the AI can see exactly how much the nail has grown.
So it's like a built-in growth chart right there on the nail. That's amazing.
Yeah. And the really cool part is they were able to link that nail growth data with the progression of the infection. See how the treatment was affecting both the growth and the spread of the fungus using those superpixels.
So you're not just seeing if the nail is growing, you're seeing if it's growing healthy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You get a complete picture.
This is amazing, this precise tracking. It's not just, a cool science thing. It changes how doctors can approach treatment. Takes the guesswork out of it.
Absolutely. Imagine tailoring treatments based on how each patient's nails are actually responding. That's personalized medicine. And that's the future this tech makes possible.
It sounds like it could really revolutionize how we deal with onychomycosis. But like with any new tech, I'm sure this study has some limitations. Well, what should we keep in mind?
You're right, it's important to be aware of those. One thing the researchers mentioned is their study focused mainly on the big toenail.
Uh-huh.
So it's possible the AI might need some tweaking to work perfectly on other toenails. They can be smaller, different shapes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like when you're training facial recognition software, you need lots of different faces to make it accurate for everyone.
Precisely. And another thing they pointed out is they need more data from diverse patients. The study participants were mostly European.
Right.
To make sure the AI works for everyone, you need data from people of all different backgrounds and skin tones.
That's really important, making sure medical tech is inclusive and works for everybody. But even with these limitations, the potential is huge. Where do you see this research going next?
Oh, the researchers had some really exciting ideas. For example, imagine using AI to analyze all the toenails, not just the big one, so you get a complete view of the infection.
Like a full foot scan, instead of just looking at one toenail,
Yeah.
you'd know exactly what you're dealing with.
Exactly. And they even suggested this AI could be used to diagnose other nail problems besides onychomycosis. Like, it could completely change how we think about nail health.
Wow, that's amazing.
Mm.
This is mind-blowing stuff. We've
Right.
covered a lot of ground here. So for our listener, what does all this mean? Why should they care about AI looking at toenail fungus?
Whether you have onychomycosis yourself or are just interested in AI in healthcare, this research shows us a future where tech can make diagnoses more accurate, treatments more personalized, and ultimately better health outcomes for everyone.
It's like having a team of tiny experts examining your toenails and giving your doctor incredibly precise information.
Exactly.
And that level of detail can make a huge difference in how well a condition is treated.
Definitely. And it makes you think, if AI can do this for something as, well, seemingly simple as toenail fungus with this level of precision,
Yeah,
what other health challenges could it change in the future?
it's pretty exciting to think about. It makes you realize that sometimes the most groundbreaking discoveries come from looking at the things we take for granted. It's not just about the doctors, though, right? This AI tech could be really good for patients, too.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, imagine tracking your progress between appointments, you know? Seeing how your toenails are doing with the treatment. It's like
Yeah.
you can see yourself getting better.
Exactly. That involvement can be a big motivator.
Right.
When you see the progress, you're more likely to stick with it.
Makes sense. So we've talked about patients, doctors, but what about the bigger picture? What does all this mean for, dermatology and healthcare in general?
It shows us a future where AI is just part of how things work, in healthcare,
Yeah.
diagnostics, treatment planning, even patient monitoring.
It's amazing how much potential there is to improve things, to make it more personalized.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm really excited to see where all this goes.
Me too. It's a fast-moving field.
It is.
The benefits for patients are incredible. Who would have thought toenail fungus would be leading the way in AI innovation?
Right. This has been a really eye-opening deep dive.
It has.
I think we both learned a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
It just goes to show that sometimes the most fascinating stuff comes from the things we see every day.
Absolutely.
That's what the deep dive is all about. Thanks for joining us on this journey into toenail fungus and AI.
Thanks for having me.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those toenails healthy.